The superheroes of Jupiter's Legacy are unlike anything you've ever seen so far. Sure, you have the Avengers and Justice League, and even though those superheroes are really good, Jupiter's Legacy takes the term superhero on another level. So if you want to know which ones are at their strongest, keep watching because here is Jupiter's Legacy's strongest superheroes ranked. Let's get started. Number 10. The Flare. Fitz Small, also known as the Flare, is one of the 6 founding members of the Union of Justice and is the heart and soul of the Union. Despite suffering really hard injuries that ended his career as a superhero, he still manages to be one of the most valued members of the team and be a huge help whenever they need it. Before he was injured and ended up paralyzed in a wheelchair, he was quite a strong superhero. We can see him in action in multiple flashbacks in the show, and we can witness all of his amazing powers. His name, the Flare, comes after the fact that he can completely light up. He has super speed and leaves yellow aura behind, and has super strength and the ability to fly. Number 9. Hutch.
And just so you know, your daddy doesn't scare me.
Hutch is one of the few superhero kids that doesn't have any powers. He is Sky Fox's son, but when he was growing up, he had very little contact with his father. The fact that he doesn't have any powers might be a disappointment to his father's ego, since he has quite a lot of powers and abilities. So you wonder, why is he on this list if he doesn't have powers? Well, he sort of has a magic stick called the Power Rod that allows him to teleport whenever he wants, so we could consider that being a power of sorts. His first plan was to use the Power Rod in order to find his father, but he found out what this rod can enable him to do and become a con man with a conscience. Number 8. Lady Liberty. Lady Liberty, or Grace Sampson, is Utopian's wife and also a member of the Union of Justice from the beginning. Beside her husband, she is one of the most powerful superheroes in the world, and she constantly tries to find a balance between the good and evil in the modern, violent world they live in. Much like her husband, which we will talk about later, Lady Liberty has some of the most incredible powers that if we start to name all of them, it would take us a few minutes or more. But we're going to rule out some of the most important ones, which are superhuman strength, flight, and enhanced vision. She is also immune to some types of physical damage and harm. Number 7. Reiku.
I don't give a shit about the Union or America.
The psychic ninja with the powers of foreseeing any attack and locking her enemies in psychic painting of their own design definitely deserves a spot on this list. Reiku is Brainwave's daughter, and just like her father, she also has the ability to alter people's minds. She uses all her powers as a trained assassin for hire, and we still don't know whether her real name is Reiku or if this is just her alter ego. Given that other superheroes in this show have managed to defeat her in a fight, but still, she very well deserves the 7th place, since she can telepathically separate another person's mind from their physical body and create psychic illusions. She is definitely a very good fighter and knows how to use her powers to the maximum. Number 6. The Paragon.
Get on the ground and lock your fingers behind your head. Not asking twice.
The Paragon, or also known by his real name as Brandon Sampson, the son of the Utopian and Lady Liberty, is all about being a superhero and saving the world. Unlike his sister Chloe, ever since they were growing up, Brandon always wanted to be like his father, so he followed in his footsteps and even his alter ego. The Paragon is very cleverly picked and represents a lesser-known synonym for Utopian. From his father, he gained almost every piece of powers except the laser eyes. But when you have super strength, power of light, and the ability to fly, who needs laser eyes? He comes at the 6th place because even though he gained all his father's powers, he is still not as good as his father will be. Number 5. Repro. Even though Repro was presented as this super evil villain that was put in prison and put on display so everyone can see him as a warning, he is still one of the most powerful people in this show. When he was broken free from the prison in order to help others to defeat Brandon Sampson and Brainwave, he proved to everyone just how much power he has. He was first asked to take Reiku down and steal his powers, and he did it without a problem. He is capable of reproducing the powers of those around him and using their own powers against them. The same thing he did to Reiku. We are certain that in the future, Repro could gain a much higher ranking since his powers are unlike anything anyone has and can be used in a million different ways. Number 4. Chloe Sampson. Unlike her brother Brandon Sampson, Chloe doesn't like to be in the spotlight and stays away from her superhero duties. But all of that changed when she became pregnant and escaped from the tyrannical government. When she stepped in, she truly showed us that she is one of the most powerful heroes in the world. Besides the power of strength, speed, and durability, she was also gifted with telekinetic powers, supersonic scream, and super senses which managed to raise her above her brother. With all her powers and senses, she could even hear miles away from her. She definitely has a huge amount of power and obviously knows how to use it. And we were so excited to finally see her step in and put her powers into good use. Number 3. Brainwave. The third place rightfully goes to the Utopian's brother, Brainwave, or Uncle Walter Sampson. This hero proves to us that you don't need muscles to be the perfect hero. Combining his super strength, speed, and flight ability with his telekinetic and telepathic abilities make him become one of the major threats of the show. If you thought that his daughter Reiku's powers were great, then you'd be shocked to learn that Brainwave can bring planes out of the sky, cause aneurysms on sight, and even provides a telekinetic shield that protects him from father attacks. He has a very advanced power to read people's minds and even alter them, hence the name Brainwave. He can even take punches from some of the heaviest hitters without a scratch. Number 2. Skyfox. In every show, there is one person who we can't decide whether he is a hero or a villain. And that is the case with Skyfox in this show. He has both incredible powers to show off as well as intellect. He is capable of reproducing his opponent's powers using inventions made from kitchen supplies. He was Utopian's close friend in the 20s, but they have since had a falling out. His powers include super strength, speed, and the ability to fly, but he is also known as being interested in technology, and most of the time uses it to his defense. He is definitely the only one who deserves this second place, as he is quite smaller to the Utopian with a little dark side to him. But with all of that behind, he has proven to be an incredible hero many times that we can't help but put him second. Number 1. Utopian. And finally, in the first spot, we have the Utopian. He proves to us that no matter what kind of powers you have, having the most basic ones will win each time. He can fly 170 million miles in just 3 hours, and he can even create an air bubble using his telekinetic powers to protect the people around him from breathing in space. He truly shows he is the most powerful of them all, but even he has his limits too. It's no wonder why he is the leader of the Union of Justice and why he is the role model for all superheroes. Oh, and apart from the powers that we mentioned, he also has laser eyes he can turn on and off, as well as excellent sight and hearing. On a related note, we wanted to know, which superhero do you consider to be the strongest and deserves the number 1 spot? Let us know in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more amazing videos such as this one, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.